Good evening, fellow Forex traders. It's November 14th, 2018, Wednesday night here. And I wanted to do another video tonight because we had some great action in the FX markets today, pretty much all day, and a lot to catch up on from what we spoke about last night in terms of looking at the dollar index and getting short Euro USD. So here is here's a look at the US dollar index right now. And again, it's bullish trend. That's very, very clear. We've got our main support down here. I'm going to actually get rid of this one because the big support zone is this one right here, and that's what we're keeping an eye on. And notice how the 50 and the 100 are kind of working their way out of the top portion of that support zone, which is great to see because you would think that those moving averages would act as support on their own. So in essence, you see as these move up, our support is also moving up to provide kind of like a bottom or a floor to price. Hopefully, that's what you would expect. Anyway, I really can't help but feel like we're going to see some kind of impulsive move higher in the US dollar index. I say that because it's hard to say why. I don't have a great reason for that. But if you look at this divergence here that may or may not have played out already. Yesterday's candle was this big bearish engulfing, but today's was more of this doji. And something just feels like this wants to make another push higher before we see a real legitimate correction. Now again, I have nothing to base that on except just gut instinct. I wouldn't read anything into it, but I just get that feeling. So the short story here is we're still very much in a bullish trend. Today kind of shows that indecision, couldn't get higher, couldn't get lower. So we're going to have to see what tomorrow brings. But let's look at the euro in terms of, this has been my main trade. And yesterday I talked about looking for zones to get short. And I said, let's see, this is the candle we spoke about yesterday. This green one here with somewhat of a wick to the top. And it wasn't a great place to get short yet. I said I was short. I ended up taking that off. I went long. I played this long and short and long again today. I was just kind of scalping the range because I just got the feeling that we weren't ready to roll over yet. And I said that on Twitter at some point last night. Okay, my computer's going to take some time to load here. Where is that? Yeah, right here, 21 hours ago. So I said, it doesn't feel like euro dollar is quite ready to roll over yet. I'm flat and waiting for a clearer picture. And shameless plug here, if you're not following me on Twitter, definitely do that now because I do quick updates throughout the day when I can, when I don't have time to blog or do videos, obviously. But that's just kind of, I just got the feeling that we weren't ready to go lower yet. And, sure enough, we popped higher, came down, popped higher again. But the main thing to look at here is this move up into 113, call it anywhere from 113.15 to 113.45, right? It's been just massively rejected. And this is a 4-hour chart. And look at these wicks. Just this wick was pretty ugly. This wick was extremely ugly. And another pretty ugly wick. And this tells me it's just like the demand to sell into any rallies is significant. And you see that kind of here with this rising wedge. I don't see picture perfect rising wedges in the Forex markets like I do in equities or crypto, but this is a pretty good one in terms of what I generally see. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this fail relatively soon. I'm thinking the next day or two. Because not only did you have massive failure on these runs higher, but these moving averages are trending down, right? And they capped price action, this 50 bar moving average on this 4-hour chart, and they're going to continue grinding lower and grinding lower. It's going to squeeze price to make a decision between breaking up through this and breaking down. And my, bias, my kind of idea here is that the path of least resistance is lower, right? We're still struggling with this 113 zone. If we kick it out to the daily chart, you know, we technically this daily candle, what was it closed was 113.095, so barely above that level. And it's hard to say like that's the line in the sand. If you look at this date here, October 31st, you know, the candle close there was 113.11, and we haven't had a daily close below 113 until the 12th here. So what I'm getting at here is 113 isn't necessarily the line in the sand. The line in the sand is really this zone from, you know, kind of, let me get this off here. It's always a zone, right? It's never one particular line, but you're really looking at this 113.40 down to 113. That comes from here. These candle closes and opens. These candle closes and opens. And we know that already, right? It's nothing new. It's nothing you probably didn't see yourself. Let me kick that through here just to get a better look when we zoom into the 4 hour. Let's take it off the minutes because I don't care about that. But you know, you can clearly see we're in this hot zone here. And everything's kind of coming together. The moving averages, the rising wedge, this whole resistance area. And I'd be a fool not to short this. And I truly believe that. Why wouldn't you short this? The odds are clearly in your favor. You know, if we break up over these highs, definitely get out. But right now, it's just such a clear, clean setup, and I love it. So there's really not much else to say about that. I'm currently short from just a hair over 113. Actually, two different counts. One just a hair over 113, one's 113.10. And just going to be patient with this one, right? Because this is a 4 hour time frame. I mean, this could break down immediately, but my guess is we kind of hesitate here. We're not going to do much tonight, and hopefully we see some action yet this week. We have 2 more trading days, so we'll see what happens. I still haven't seen, you know, any, let me check for divergence here. Actually, we did see some, right? We saw this higher high here on the hourly chart and a failure to make higher highs on RSI. So we've got that going for us, you know, on top of everything else. We're not seeing the divergence on the higher time frames yet, and that's fine. We don't need it. It's just a nice another piece of evidence. And in terms of target, gosh, if we fail in this zone, like I think we're going to, again, look at, there's a lot of headroom up here yet. So if we do get above these highs, we have the potential to move anywhere up between 114.20-ish up to 115, really. So that's kind of your risk. If we get above those highs, we could easily go into this zone. But if we fail here, the odds of 112 holding, in my opinion, are very slim. And where we stop is anyone's guess. You know, now we're, you know, keep moving up to the weekly. It's hard to say where we'll stop exactly in this next leg down if we get it. But, you know, out to the monthly, this is the zone you need to be really aware of. I guess it goes all the way up here, but probably going to be talking more at like that, where you have these wicks coming down through here with support. Couldn't get up through here yet until boom, finally. So you're kind of looking at anywhere from, it's a wide range, almost 110 down to 105, 104.50. So there's a good potential like lower here. But that's still what I'm looking at. And you know, last night I was hunting for a short entry. Today I got it. I'm happy about it. I hope you guys did too. And one more thing to look at, you know, you can't look much at volume here. This is Oanda, I don't know which you say it, but clearly volume drop off. I don't know if there's anything to read into there. Let's see what futures show us real quick for volume. Yeah, future volume is still totally fine. So there's not much to read here in terms of volume, but gosh, this almost looks better in terms of, I just like this setup. You know, I like the setup for shorts, and hopefully it works out. But that's all I really have for tonight. I'm not watching really any other pairs. Everything else is kind of messy. tried to take a dollar yen long today out of this range, and just equities moved lower quickly, and I got stopped out on this wick. That sucked, but it was a very small trade. We're right back in the range. So I kind of like the long through here, but didn't work out there. But Eurodollar is still my main focus. So if you're with me, I'm excited to see what the next couple days bring. If you're against me, well, good luck. And we'll see how it pans out. So later, guys. Have a good rest of your night.